Well, I don't think we're going to be paddling this river this weekend. We're both freezing.
Suddenly got the HM Coast Guard chopper that has just landed just in front of the reservoir.
Well, I don't think we're going to be paddling this river this weekend. It has done nothing but rain all week, and we've kept an eye on it. A few of the guys have dropped out because of the levels as well, but I've had the annual leave booked, and I wanted to come away and do something. But even if we can't paddle this, there's still plenty of stuff that we can do, whether it's fishing, whether it's paddling the lakes, drinking, or even the Llangollen Canal we can do as well. But this is probably a little bit beyond my capability, especially further downstream. Up here, it doesn't look too bad, but definitely the route that we had planned, there's absolutely no chance we're going to be able to do this. Right, I want to get back, get the old tent set up, and have a bit of a nap, I think. So that's the roof tent all set up, but firstly I'm going to take you through my sleep setup inside there. So the first thing is here, I've got my boot bag that's just outside there, and then as we come up the tent, we'll open up the tent wherever the thing is, just there. And here we are. So what we've got here is I've got my down quilt that Ginger's made for me. I use this a lot for camping, for hammock camping. It used to use it in the van. It's absolutely brilliant, really, really warm. And then I've just got my dry robe there, just in case I get a little bit cold. Just on the inside there, you can just see at the top there, I've got one of the bivvy lights. So that can be inside or it can be on the outside there. And that is basically my sleep setup. It's about 4 o'clock. I think Matty's coming, and Simon isn't leaving the deepest, darkest parts of Norfolk till later on. He's probably on his way now, actually, and that is if his landy makes it. So that's half of the reason why I decided to come in this. Yes, we were going to lift share and full share to come over. We were going to drive together, but I just weren't so sure whether that landy of his was going to make it. And also I get to sleep in something comfortable as well. Right, so that's nanny nap done. Oh, I think I'm coming down with something, I will be honest. I feel quite shivery sat inside of this box, so I'm going to find my other coat, I think. It is cold though, I must say it is cold. So it shouldn't be too long before Matty arrives. He's going to stop in his van tonight, so I think what we're going to do is head up the pub. There's a pub literally 5 minutes up the road here, and have some decent food, I think. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to have another brew. Went off the hills and into the river here, but yeah. Right, so it's beer o'clock. Simon's turned up from deepest, darkest Norfolk. Matty's here as well. He's got his dog with him as well, so it's all looking good. So we're just going to head up to the pub, have a couple of beers, have something to eat, and we're going to decide what we're going to do tomorrow. Obviously, it's a shame the other guys couldn't make it, but you know, the conditions aren't great, and we were looking to paddle the D, and it would have been great to paddle the D, but the conditions that it is at the moment, it's not looking good at all. But we shall see what we'll do tomorrow. We're going to decide that when we get to the pub, work out what we're going to do. Matty's got his pack raft, I've got my pack raft, Simon's got his canoe on top of his truck, so there's plenty to do. You know, when you're in this part of the world, whether that river's not working at all, there's always something to do. So we'll get up to the pub and we'll work out what we're going to do. Right, morning. I have a mouth like Gandhi's flip-flop. I think probably about 6 or 7 ales fell down my throat in the pub last night. I didn't really do much filming last night, to be honest, because I was drinking. But yeah, we had a nice evening, went to the pub in Garog there, and we just worked out what we're going to do today, really. So we're going to split today, that's what we're going to do. So Simon's going to head up and do some hill walking, and me and Matty are going to take a couple of rods out of the truck and we're going to hit on the River Dee and hopefully do some trotting for some grayling. It's a species I've never caught, and it's one fish that I've really wanted to catch all of my life. So hopefully we're going to be able to do that. So hopefully this year, 2023, I'm going to be able to knock off a few species of fish that I've never caught. So we're aiming for zander, we're aiming for grayling, and then hopefully in the summer we're going to get some Arctic char when we head back up to northern Sweden. So that's the plan. It is the year of new species. So yeah, so that's what we're going to head up doing. So it is swollen, the river is really swollen, hence the reason we're not pack rafting and canoeing. We've knocked that on the head, it's just too much. It's way above all of our capability to be paddling that river. It's really swollen, there's a lot of water moving, it's just too dangerous for us to do that. So that's the plan. So Simon's going to head off and go do his thing, and we're going to spend the night here again at the campsite here, and spend the day fishing on the river. And then tomorrow we're going to pack up, we're going to head up to a spot and do a bit of bothy camping, and then we'll meet Simon hopefully up at the bothy there. Be quite interesting, looking forward to that. I haven't done any bothy camping for a while. There is a bit of snow forecast for tomorrow, so that should be quite interesting to be able to get up the hills and hopefully wake up in the morning with a nice little bit of snow covering on the ground. So yeah, looking forward to that, should be good. Anyway, time to get a cup of tea on the go and get some breakfast. So we are on Lake Alwen, I think it is, Llyn Alwen, that we're fishing today. So it's about 13 quid to fish for the day. And we're just going to walk around just with spinners and stuff. You can fish with worms and stuff here as well. So you don't have to specifically fly fish here. But it's cold, it's very cold. I'm not so sure how we're going to get on. So I'm just fishing with a little tiny meps at the moment. And we're just going to take a walk that way and see what we can get. Well, we're trying anything at the moment to catch fish. I'm literally just ledgering now, a couple of split shots just on a piece of line with a worm. We've had a couple of knocks, but nothing to take on the bank, unfortunately. But we are determined, absolutely determined to catch a fish. Right, that'll do. It's going to be a bit of a blankety blank for today, I think. We're both freezing. It's now starting to sleet. We've had a bash anyway. We give it a go. But no fish on the menu today. Well, actually, yeah, there is fish on the menu today. It's salmon and pasta today. Right, I'm going to pack up, make our way back to the van, and make our way back to the campsite. Right, morning. Very blowy night last night. It was cold, it was windy AF last night, but I was nice and warm up in that roof tent, so can't complain with that at all. So I don't know how Simon got on last night, so if it was windy AF down here, I'm pretty sure up the top of that hill it was not too good at all, but we shall catch up with him later on. Right, just going to pack up now, get everything packed away. Me and Matty are going to now drive up and park, and then take about an hour and a half walk up to a bothy, and that's where I'm going to spend the night. Matty, unfortunately, has got to go home. He's got to work in the morning, but I'm going to meet up with Simon, and then me and Simon are going to spend the night in the bothy. So I'm just going to have a quick brew, get all of this lot packed away, and we'll get on the road. Get a bit warm as I'm acting as Simon Sherpa. I've had to undo everything. You know, you've got all those layers on to keep warm, and then once you start booting it uphill, and it's been a while since I've done anything uphill, so I'm blowing at my backside a little bit. But what an absolute beautiful day to be out. Touch wood, the rain and sleet has stopped. Well, look over yonder. That is absolutely gorgeous. And what a fantastic day to be out. You know, yes, it's January, yes, the weather's absolutely terrible, but if you dress right, you know, you can still carry on those adventures all through the year. And especially when you've got things like bothies, you know, that makes it a lot easier. Just hike up a bag of coal or a bag of wood, and you've got a little adventure. There we are, bothy in sight. If you just, whether you can see it, just in the V, right at the bottom there, that's where tonight's stop is, the bothy.
So I think we've now got to go up the top here and around and down. I could have really done with some spikes coming down that lot. I went a cropper a couple of times and it's still not even over yet, but this is sketchy as hell, this is. But just take our time and we won't be too long. Bothy's just over yonder and there's a little bit of sun in the sky. Should be a nice afternoon. Nearly made it in one piece. I spent quite a bit of it on my arse though. Is he in one piece? How was your night then?
It was brutal. It was gusty, gusts coming from both directions, every direction. Snowing, drifting snow coming into the tent, into the porch, covered my rucksack completely. Yeah, it was interesting, loud. And then my pole snapped on my tent.
Right, okay. So how did you manage to sleep then?
I managed to re-tension it and dig the broken end of the pole in the ground, so it was like half the size it should have been and almost flat, but this far above my face. So it's built like a bivvy. But yeah, I was warm. I was warm in my sleeping bag.
Good.
It was just noisy and didn't get
We managed to bring all of that lot up. So I think we should be quite nice and toasty in here tonight. Right, so we'll take you through Dulyn Bothy. So there's the shop up in the corner there. Everything's drying. So you've got two really large bunks inside of here. I think the Canadian's slung his hammock inside of here. So hell of a lot of space. There's no heater in there, but you've got that brick there that gives a bit of heat from the fire in the other room there. Look at the light over there. It's absolutely beautiful coming through here. And I think those clouds are looking like we're going to get a little bit of snow as well a little bit later on. But what a beautiful spot. This must be absolutely lovely in the summer. So Simon's saying that this reservoir, it has a plane crash in the 50s, and when the water's low you can actually see the prop sticking out of the water. Matty's saying that there's Arctic char in here as well, but I ain't standing around fishing in this. It is absolutely Baltic, it really is. If I turn the camera around you can just see just over yonder there. So that's the path that we took down, or should I say the path that I slid down most of the way. But yeah, absolutely lovely. Anyway, I think it's time to go back and warm the old fingies up, I think. Right, coming in to warm up, just having a brew. Well, actually got some mushroom soup that we're having today. So yeah, so pretty nice out there today. Really enjoyed that walk up to the reservoir. Really enjoyed it. Bitterly cold. So really we're just sat here chewing the cud with Simon, and Ethan is over from Canada. So he's just visiting the UK and has decided to come up and stop in the Bothy here as well. So we're just having a chat, chewing the cud, and we'll get the beers out, get the fire on, get the rum out, and we'll really enjoy ourselves a little bit later. It'd help if I remembered my pump from a sleeping mat, wouldn't I really?
Yeah, mine just ran out of juice.
Oh, typical. Simon's pump ran out of juice, didn't it? And I'm having to fill this up. He's getting his own back from when we went pack rafting, and I had the pump. So we've got one of the real field meal salmon and pasta. These are absolutely brilliant. These are, I think, 600 kilocalories just for everything that's inside of that. We've got, I think that's chocolate, not so sure about that. We've got a spicy sauce that goes with it, a hand wipe, some instant coffee, a cranberry bar by Real on the go. They're pretty good, those are. And something else is in here. What we got inside of here? Fullscorn broad. So that's a flatbread that you've got inside of that. And then one of the energy drinks. And then a plastic bag to put the whole lot inside of it. And that sounds like we've got Mountain Rescue above us, I think. Is it Mountain Rescue? Yeah? Hopefully they're not looking for us.
Well, I haven't texted my mom in a few days.
Actually reading what's in that, in my limited Scandinavian, that's nut cream. Well, this is all a bit weird. We've suddenly got the HM Coast Guard chopper that has just landed just in front of the reservoir there. So I don't know why. I hope Matty got down the hill all right. No idea what's going on, why they suddenly decided to land here. Unless they're bringing more beer for us.
Ah, yeah. Grab an imaginary spoon.
Right, I said this before, absolute favourite, salmon and pasta. There's a mix of peas, carrots, pasta, salmon. I think there's a lot of a potato base to it, but absolutely great. What goes on in the Bothy station? Right, I think we'll knock it on the head now. It's been a lovely evening, just sat here, just drinking away and just discussing all sorts. So the answer to the universe and everything is 42. We've brought up the subject for everything tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed myself here today. It is bitterly cold outside. It was snowing outside a second ago. And that's probably going to do it for tonight, so I'm going to hit the hay. So we shall see you all in the morning. Right, morning. Well, I didn't sleep too bad last night at all. A little bit chilly in places, but just threw my jacket over myself, so not too bad at all. But as you can see from this, we've had a fresh jump, and it's still dumping at the moment. It's a really fine powdery snow that's coming down. So it's going to be interesting to see what the valley looks like when the sun finally comes up. And it's going to be interesting to make our way back to the car as well. So yeah, so anyway, going to get some snow boiled up into water and into hot stuff, have a coffee and start packing up. It's probably going to take us, probably in conditions as it is now, it's going to take us 2 hours to get back to the truck, I think, but we shall see. Let's get some coffee on and go, get some contemplation about the way home done. Alright, well, breakfast this morning. We've got creamy scrambled eggs with ham and cheese. This is by Adventure Menu, this one. Be interesting to see what this is like. I've had previous breakfast menus by, I think it was Summit to Eat or something, that their eggs, and they were gopping. They were absolutely disgusting, they were. But so it's going to be interesting to see what these are like, because I do like eggs. It's quite hefty actually, 575 kilocalories in one of these, so quite a good portion for the size of it, and it's quite small. I mean, the one that we had last night by Real Field Meal, that was 600 kilocalories, and that was a massive meal. And this is really small. This is, and that's 575. So there's a good bit of energy inside of those. So it's going to be interesting to see what those like. So we just got melting up some snow at the moment. Going to do a real cowboy coffee and have some eggs for breakfast. Looking forward to it.
has scrambled. It smells interesting. Let's give it a go. It's edible. That's all I can say, it's edible. Alright, I think that'll do for that. It reminds me of chewing carpet backing or something. Styrofoam. That is salty and hard to chew. We shall leave that, I think. I should have brought one of the real tomat breakfast. I think they're probably one of the best things for breakfast, I think. Loads of oats, loads of chocolate, loads of fruit and stuff. And the great thing about those, you can eat them cold if need be as well. You can just pour cold water into them. But yeah, I think that's going to go for the ponies, I think. What a great little place. If you've never done Bothy camps before, it's something I really would recommend. If you get on the website for the Mountain Bothy Association, there's a interactive map on there, and you can basically see where all the Bothys are all around the UK. There's hundreds up in Scotland, there's a few in the Lake District, and a few in Wales as well. And they're free to use. The only thing is there's certain rules as well. You know, you need to leave it better than what it was when you came in. And just look after the place, really. You know, it's free. There's volunteers that come in, look after them, they do the maintenance and stuff like that. You can join the Mountain Bothy Association. It's about £20–25 a year, and that just gives them fun, so they can provide these wonderful shelters and stuff, so you can come out and do some fantastic little micro adventures, or just stop while you're having a walk just for a little bit of break from the weather. But yeah, we're pretty much all done here. It's been a great night, hasn't it, Simon? You really
Fantastic.
enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
A bit better than last night.
The night before, yeah, a bit more comfy.
Right then, time to get the jackets on and start making our way down the hill. Yeah, so that's the route that we came in, was up that point there, and then all the way across. Well, you've got that route here, where you can just see the ATV tracks, but that is going to be a long, hard slog all the way up. That route, you've only just got a small bit, haven't you, there? And then pretty much straight all the way down. Right, time to on y va and make our way, I think. Oh, I am knackered. Coming from Suffolk, the highest thing we've got is the stairs in Wetherspoons. This is a bit of a workout, and it ain't over yet. We've got that to climb. Anyway, let's crack on. Such a rough round the edges beauty. A bit like a 4 AM trashy blonde, you know. Absolutely fantastic to be on top of. Blowing a hoolie. Whoa.
Right then guys, so I'm going to sign off now. It's been an epic weekend. I've really enjoyed myself. It's a shame we couldn't get to packraft on the River Dee, but North Wales is full of adventure, and spending a night up in that bothy last night was absolutely fantastic. Meeting up with Simon and then meeting up with Ethan, who's all the way over from Canada. I'll stick a link to his Instagram in the description below if you want to fancy giving him a follow. But yeah, absolutely brilliant weekend. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button just below there. As always, a couple of videos for you to take a look at. One of those is Simon's epic adventure where his tent snapped, and of course another one of my videos for you to take a look at. So once again, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on the next one.